Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for clicking on this Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more bonus video. I just minutes ago got done watching Weird, the Al Yankovic story. I'm Martin Prevost, by the way. I just wanted to talk about this movie. Excuse the cough. Yeah, I just got done watching Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which premiered today on the Roku channel. And first and foremost, I'm going to talk about the negatives of this movie. It has ads, because it's on the Roku channel. Now that the negatives are out of the way, I totally, 100% would have paid hard-earned American money to have seen this in theaters. I would have. I would have paid. I don't know how many people would have. I don't know what the box office of this movie would have been. But I know I would have totally paid. It was so good. So good. UHF is one of my top 50 favorite movies of all time. I own multiple Weird Al. I own one of his pops that I've come across. I own his Simpsons action figure. I own a lot of Weird Al stuff. I own a bunch of his music albums. I know I don't normally stand up and walk away. I just accept if I'm not holding something. But I own a bunch of his CDs. I love listening to his music. UHF. This is a great movie. This is a fridge magnet, but this is a great movie. Written by Weird Al Yankovic. And this is also written by Weird Al Yankovic. Oh, wow. So, the man who makes parody songs, that's what he did. He made a parody. This is what this movie is. It is a parody of the rock dramas that we're getting now. The biopics, Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, all those biopics that have been coming out, even reaches as far back as The Doors. And he's just parodying these movies with his life stories very lightly sprinkled in on top. Daniel Radcliffe plays Weird Al Yankovic. He does a great job. He's a great Weird Al. His singing voice is spot on because he's clearly lip syncing to Weird Al, which I laughed every time. I laughed every song seeing Daniel Radcliffe and hearing Weird Al's voice. Also, apparently, Diedrich Bader plays Weird Al because the movie is narrated, but it's supposed to be narrated by Weird Al, but it's Diedrich Bader doing his Batman voice. It's great. I have not legitimately smiled through a movie in a long time. At least not a new release. And I did. I got the joke. I got the joke of what this movie was doing. I understood it, and I was in for the entire hour and 48 minutes. Because I watched the whole thing because the credits are not that interesting. There's nothing really funny in the credits. There's no scenes within the credits. Once they really start rolling. But it's because there's an original Weird Al song about the credits. He sings a song for the credits, and it's great. And it was I was sitting there listening to the song more than reading the credits. I loved this movie. This movie was so much fun. It's got, you got Rainn Wilson in there playing Dr. Demento. Toby Huss is in there playing Al's dad. We had cameos up the wazoo. Evan Rachel Wood plays Madonna, which is great. That's so funny. It is such a good movie, and it's so Weird Al. It is so perfectly Weird Al, because the farther you get into there's an action scene. There is a fight scene in a diner, because Madonna is kidnapped, and Weird Al fights off everyone in the diner. Why? I don't know why he has to fight them all off, but they're all attacking him. and he is fighting them all off. It's such a good movie. If you have the Roku channel, watch this movie. Like I said, the only negative I have of this entire movie is it has ads. That's it. That's the only... I loved everything else about this movie. Again, is it an accurate telling of Weird Al's life story? No. It isn't even close to an accurate telling. But, is it a really amusing movie? Yes. It is so fun. And that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be super fun. And you're supposed to be looking at it going, that reminds me of that scene from that one movie. That's the point. Like, it's supposed to remind you of all of these other biopics that have been coming out. Like the scene where Weird Al is brought to the big Hollywood party when he's first discovered. And you have all these people playing all of these, like, 80s Hollywood people. And then all of a sudden he has to be challenged and he has to prove himself. It's a great scene. It's a great scene. And it feels like that scene you've seen so many times, except it's being done for comedy, so you're just, like, giggling through the entire bit. Same thing with the, like, opening that's not really, it doesn't start the story, it's somewhere in the middle or the end of the story, but it's a really interesting moment in the story. We're going to start there with no explanation as to why we're here, just so we can flash back and tell the story. I think both Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man had that kind of opening where it's, this is a way more interesting moment of the story, so we're going to start here and then go back. I know Elvis was all flashback, so, yeah. So it starts with one of those, like, how did we get here? And then we hear Diedrich Bader's voice, and we go back in time, and when we get there, it doesn't even end the same way, because of where we are in the movie. Again, it's a great movie. I highly recommend it if you have the Roku channel. Watch Weird, the Al Yankovic story, and just enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. And then go find a copy of UHF and check that out, because that's also a hilarious movie. And there's a review for it on this channel somewhere way back when. Like 2 years ago, I did it. But I have one. UHF. But yeah, highly recommend Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Yeah, if they release this thing on Blu-ray, I'm buying it, and I'm gonna watch it over and over and over again, because it was good. It was really good. I really enjoyed myself, and yeah, I'm still just, I still got this smiley face going on because I'm thinking about this movie. I just really genuinely enjoyed. I genuinely enjoyed it for the 2 hours that it was on my screen. Yeah. And if you ever wanted to learn about the life of Weird Al, this ain't the movie, but if you want to learn a fictionalized version of Weird Al's life, man, this is the movie for you. So much fun. So much fun. Highly recommend. I'm going to end up watching it again at some point in the near future because it's really good. It is really good. All right, so that's a hard recommend. Hard recommend for Weird, the Al Yankovic story. So good. So good. I'm Martin Prevost. This is Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more. Check out the weekly videos. I'm doing Shakespeare this month. I'm talking Shakespeare. I did Romeo and Juliet is the one that dropped on Wednesday. Highly recommend watching me talk Shakespeare this month. Nobody wants to hear me talk Shakespeare, but why not? I want to talk Shakespeare. So I'm talking Shakespeare. When you're the one in control, you can talk about whatever you want and not watch anyone watch it. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. You all know that stuff. Check it out. Check out Weird, the Al Yankovic story. It is so good. It is so freaking good. All right, I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Later.